I went up on A deck and saw that the midship was all aflame. I also noticed that most of the lifeboats were down in the water because the cables were burned, and they couldn't make any use of the lifeboats with the exception of 7 or 8 of them. Those they loaded, the passengers, and lowered into the sea. Most of the passengers crowded to the aft of the boat to keep away from the flame of smoke. They were able to do so for about a half an hour. After that, the entire ship was one mass of flame, and everybody had to jump into the water.
We have just located my little nephew and his mother. That is my sister-in-law. His mother is now in the hospital. We're taken to Flower Hospital. We haven't been able to locate his father nor his other brother. His little brother is 7 years old. It's a awfully fight, and I hope I never see another thing happen like that again. I'm very glad to say that we saved 71 of them. And I think we got the last man to leave the